that sport diff, the Audi sport differential there just gave me that balance around that turn. In any other car, I think I would have encountered understeer, but not in this thing.
As an educational nonprofit organization, we aim to educate anyone listening on all things Audi, as well as safety and technical information and driver instruction. So all said, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're already aware, at least to some degree, what the RS6 GT is. So what we aim to share with you today is not a rundown of the technical specifications. I mean, yes, we do share some important points, but that data was already released to the public earlier this year. So most importantly, we're here to share with you the exciting photos and footage we captured and what we experienced while driving this amazing culmination of Audi engineering. Audi Club North America prides itself on being the premier Audi enthusiast organization and the only club sanctioned by Audi of America and Audi AG. We bring our members, and yes, the broader automotive enthusiast community, news and updates of all things Four Rings through our online news blog, social media, and our quarterly print periodical, Quattro Magazine.
Hello, I'm Chris May, Executive Director of Audi Club North America, and I am really excited because today we get to share some new information and details around Audi's new RS6 Avant GT. So, Audi Club received communication from Audi of America and Audi AG, and we got an invitation effectively to go out to LA to join them for an exclusive PR event where we got to experience the brand new Audi RS6 Avant GT. I'm still only a couple days back from the experience in LA, and I'm still processing it, honestly. It was just incredible from start to finish. So effectively what happened was Audi of America and Audi AG invited the club to go out to LA, where they were having a few PR events and activations with the new RS6 Avant GT. They invited us to go out and drive it, experience it, learn about what makes it different, what makes it so special. And that's why we're here today. We're going to be reviewing some of these unique differences between this car and its predecessor, the performance model. And really, it's a completely different level of vehicle that Audi's brought to market. So now let's fast forward to 2020, when Audi unexpectedly, towards the end of 2020, unexpectedly announced a RS6 GTO concept car. It took the media world and enthusiasts by storm when we saw this vehicle hit the internet effectively. And what was so cool about this was that it was so obviously an homage to the 1989-90 IMSA GTO. Everything from the turbofan wheels, which, gosh, we wish those would continue to the RS6 in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But from the turbofan wheels to the livery to the rear spoiler, which was a two-tier spoiler, which harkens to the race car as well. It was really cool to see what effectively what 12 apprentices from the Audi design department put together and released as an homage to that race car. Notably on that car, there were actually side exit exhausts from the fenders, just like the Audi 90 IMSA GTO, but obviously we couldn't have that in the street today, obviously for emissions reasons, for safety, and a number of other things. It was really cool to see the apprentices just take what they envisioned and bring it there with the concept, and that's the whole point of a concept, right? Even with concept cars that do make it to production, there's a number of things that don't make it for one reason or another, whether it's safety or otherwise. But man, that car in its pure form was really neat to see. And so now when we fast forward to the RS6 Avant GT, you see that continuity of philosophy, of design philosophy come forward, right? Everything from the race car to the GTO concept to today, all harkens back to Audi Sport heritage, and that comes with the livery, right? So you see the livery on the Audi 90 IMSA GTO, you see it on the GTO concept, and you see it now on the Audi RS6 Avant GT. Additionally, that two-tier spoiler carried forward from the GTO concept. So it was really cool to see that come forward to production, right? Some of these design elements and cues from the concept. What didn't make it forward, obviously, is the side exit exhaust, but nobody expected that, quite frankly. Would have been neat. And I think really what's cool about these concept cars is that they're limitless, right? They're not encumbered or restricted from safety considerations or production considerations, and it really allows the designers, in this case these third-year apprentices, to really just design something that is pure, right? Pure to their aesthetic. So that being said, really cool that some of these cues were able to actually make it forward now into the RS6 Avant GT. So one of the first things that happened when we got to LA to see the RS6 Avant GT, we were greeted by Audi of America and Audi AG, and they gave us a walk around of this car. They were able to tell us and show us effectively what makes this car so special and what's so different about it. Obviously, the heritage-inspired livery is the standout, right? It's the first thing you notice. But there are other, obviously, design cues and pride points here that we'd be remiss if we didn't call out, right? What makes this thing unique? What makes this thing limited? With only 660 in production that'll be produced, all numbered individually on the console. I mean, it is truly a special car. So a couple things to note here. Carbon fiber. It's there. There's a little bit of exposed carbon fiber on the hood, so the whole hood is carbon fiber. The front fenders, which are flared, and you'll see on the video, they're carbon fiber as well, in addition to the rear bumper. Now, the rear bumper is different because you'll notice on the standard RS6 or performance models, there's a little bit kind of like a shelf where the hatch meets the bumper. And in this case, it has been extended and molded. It actually gives the car a wider kind of stance, just makes it look more aerodynamic. And so kudos to the design department for that addition. Furthermore, the car comes with an adjustable coilover system, which is new, and it actually provides another 10 millimeters of lowering to the car, thus improving its handling. And man, that is so noticeable on the track. That is a game changer compared to the suspension of the base RS6. What else is new is a new Audi Sport designed rear differential for this car, which is a bit more aggressive, I'll say, in a good way. So we'll talk about that when we talk about the driving experiences of this car. There are also some interior appointments that make this car special. Everything from custom stitching to RS6 branded seats and door sills, red seat belts. It's really truly a bespoke looking interior. I was really impressed with the fit and finish of that, and really how it felt, and in driving it, it just felt very cohesive. And additionally, there's microfiber appointments on the dash and the door cards. It gives it a really elevated feel and soft touch. Kudos to the design department for that element. And each one is individually numbered. It's on the console, in the center console, just below the shift column. So harkening back to other limited runs of vehicles that the Audi has brought to the US, kind of similar to, if you remember, the 25 Quattro, let's say, back in 2007, also numbered as well on the shift knob. But here it's on the console. And yeah, going back to the outside of the car, something that we really enjoyed was seeing the limited, again, unique to this car, the 22-inch Avis-inspired wheels. You can only get these wheels in the RS6 Avant GT. They look amazing on the car. And lastly, I want to point out something that caught my eye. On the front and rear of the vehicle is the badging. Unique heritage-inspired RS badging. So with the three colors of the Audi Sport Heritage branding right there in the badge, the RS badge. I thought that was really cool. I would love to see Audi continue that theme in future exclusive models like this. Really speaks to the enthusiast in me. So when Audi released information about the R6 Avant GT back in February, we got all the specs. A lot of this information I've just covered has been out there, but I think for the sake of continuity and telling you a comprehensive story, I wanted to call out some of these things to you. The car is it's a beast, for lack of better words, with a 4.0 liter turbocharged V8. I mean, the thing propels you 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, which is actually a tenth faster than the Audi RS6 performance model. Of course, this car offers a little bit of an advantage with lighter weight, the aerodynamics. I think all of those come into play with the faster acceleration that we're seeing in this car. So we talked a little bit about the power plant. It makes 621 horsepower and 625 foot-pound of torque, and man, you feel every bit of that when you're driving this car. It is raw yet refined. And so with that, I think we'll talk a little bit about the driving impression since I got to get behind the wheel of this thing on the track and put it through its paces. And as I noted about the acceleration, well, when I was behind the wheel on the straight taking off, you feel every single bit of that horsepower and torque. It is blisteringly quick. It is smooth, but fast. It puts you back in your seat. It felt super controlled on the straight. I mean, you feel a little bit of squat, but not really. It's just well executed. All of that power and torque, and obviously the weight is just so balanced. And I don't know if Audi did anything necessarily to the software of this car on the transmission end, but the shifts were lightning fast. One thing that I really noticed about the shifting of this car and intuitive, even if you didn't use the paddle shifting and you just used the gas and brake, it's almost like I didn't need to use the paddle shifting. I think that was probably due to the sport mode software, but it is brilliant. I think they've made a step up, and if they haven't, it may have just been the experience, but it was incredible to see how intuitive the car behaved based on my input around the turns. Now, sometimes I did get to use the paddle shifts and control it, which was a lot of fun too, so glad to have that option there. So when you talk about the engine, the transmission, the shifting, pairing that, I would say, for lack of better words, it's a symphony, right? Everything playing its part, including the soundtrack. So the soundtrack of the sport exhaust and the pops and burbles and deceleration.
Hello, Audi Club. This is Chris May, Executive Director here, and I'm joining you from sunny California, and it's a hot one today. I'm driving Audi's brand new RS6 Avant GT here at Willow Springs. And let me tell you, it is exhilarating. This 4-liter turbocharged V8 leaves nothing to be desired.
Whew, it is loud. It will put goosebumps on your arm. It is truly everything you want as an enthusiast or even just somebody who appreciates great cars in a driving experience. Now, something that really surprised me about this car, you look at the specs, you see how heavy it is, 5,000 something pound car, right? I was under the impression I had lower expectations. This is going to be a fast car in the straights. We'll see how it does on the turns. And, in Willow Spring, there are some pretty interesting turns. We're on the smaller track. And so really got to put this thing through the turns and feel how the suspension behaves, right? And so even in going into that first turn, I noticed there was very minimal body roll for a car this size. So, I think that is really attributed to this new coilover-based suspension and how low it sits now. But additionally, as I was going into the apex of some of these turns, I noticed, again, flat body response, but if I were to modulate the throttle and going into the turn, I could intuitively kick the rear end of the car out around the turn. Now that new Audi Sport differential is it may be my favorite part of the car, quite honestly. Now I have an iteration, I have a B8.5 S4 at home with Sport Diff, and it's probably one of my favorite options on the car that I personally own. But here it is completely on a different level. It is far more intuitive, controlled. It's as rear biased as really you want it to be going into the turns. And in between that and the coilover suspension, there was nothing I couldn't do. Now, granted, I didn't get a lot of time with the car, so I didn't get to necessarily learn it and really push it as fast as maybe as I wanted to. But I think it was capable of a lot more. So again, pushing the rear end of the car out around the turn is effortless. It's intuitive. The thing handles just amazing. I forgot at times that I was in a car that was as big, wheelbase and heavy as this vehicle is, because frankly, it has enough horsepower where it doesn't matter, and the suspension, the design of how it behaves in turns, it is just, it's a feat of engineering, quite frankly. So now that I've shared what we experienced with RS6 GT and what I absolutely loved about it, it is a brilliant driving experience, unparalleled to this point for me. For a production vehicle, it is, from the factory, it's everything you want it to be on. It's everything you want it to be on the track, and I imagine even better so on a road environment here, public road environment, right? So while I share what I loved about the RS6 Avant GT. It's a brilliant vehicle. The engineering that went into this car is apparent, right? The execution is chef's kiss. But I'd be remiss if I didn't share some of the points of criticism that I have for this vehicle, and provide a little bit of context around that. While it's no surprise that North America doesn't always get the goods or the goodies that the European market does, it's truly a shame that we're only getting the RS6 Avant GT in Arcona White with Heritage livery. Having the option to tailor this car, let's say a la an Audi exclusive program, to pick color and to really play with it and customize and personalize, especially at the what we think the price point may be, somewhere around the $200K range. Not announced, so that's just our guess. We do think that having that customizability and that offering would have really resonated a little bit more with the intended audience for this car. And also seeing what the European market is getting in alternative colors. If you like a white car, great. If you like the livery, great. But it would have been nice to have those other options, quite frankly. Additionally, the U.S. market's not getting the European carbon bucket seats. It's a drag, right? This is no surprise. I think us enthusiasts have been lamenting that since the B7 RS4, when that came to the shore here in North America. We were always envious of the European model seats, but that's no fault to Audi. We realize, for the folks who understand what's involved in production, there's safety considerations, and crash testing. And so to bring something like that exclusive for a limited run, we understand that that's not going to be a cost-effective process and probably drive the cost of the car significantly higher. So, darn. So I spoke a little bit about the examples that we're getting here to the U.S. Again, I said 660 are being produced in total globally of the RS6 Avant GT. Coming to North America are 85 examples, all of which are in Arcona white with heritage livery. That's, seeing it in person, I love it. It looks a lot better than the actual images that were out there, out and about, in my opinion. You really have to see the vehicle in person to truly appreciate it. But I do have some criticism about the livery. Two things, really. One, would be nice to even just have an option if you wanted it in just Arcona white to be able to remove it or not have it applied, right? Again, further customization. But also just the livery itself. We noticed in the walk around of the car that some of the pieces, notably on the side skirts, they don't wrap around the color scheme. And so I think that would have made it look a little bit better, a little more elevated, more continuity of the design cue right there, eliminating some of those gaps, I would say, in the decals. So no pricing has been set for the RS6 Avant GT. Purely speculative Audi Club perspective, do think it's probably going to be around the $200,000 US dollar range. Not sure what the MSRP will be, but I imagine there may be some markup too at the dealer. Who knows? But to be determined. So again, North America is getting 85 examples of this car, 7 of which are going to Canada. I think the RS6 Avant GT is sure to be a collectible vehicle. But that said, after driving, you'd really be hard pressed to keep the thing in the garage. It's meant to be experienced, quite frankly. That's just my opinion. So while it is a collectible car, for the folks that do, and the lucky individuals that do purchase this car here in North America, you're going to want to drive the thing. It is truly a driver's vehicle. So as we bring this feature to a close, you're going to want to keep an eye out for additional content that we're going to be sharing about this experience via our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, etc. So look us up, Audi Club North America, and give us a follow. We have exciting footage that won't be part of this clip to share with you as well, and other insights. Additionally, keep an eye out in the fourth quarter for our Quattro magazine, where we'll be doing a feature on this vehicle, a more detailed write-up about the experience, and of course more photography about it all. I'd be remiss if I didn't share that this entire experience for the RS6 GT there, out in California in a closed course, it really, when I was behind the wheel, I was thinking about Audi Club's driver education mission. Our 501c3 mission is based on driver education and technical education and leadership development. And so being out there on the track made me think of the different high-performance driving events that our 32 chapters across North America execute annually, right? And so if you're a club member or a prospective club member, check us out. You don't have to have an Audi RS6 Avant GT to participate, though obviously it would make it a lot more fun, probably, if you did. But any car will do. And you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the mechanics and physics of your vehicle. It makes you a safer driver. And it's truly not as scary if you're thinking about it. It's not scary. You can do it in any car. Our club members are super welcoming and, experienced in bringing novice drivers to the track. Also, before I go, a quick reminder about Audi Club's annual sweepstakes. This year, we're giving away a 2025 Audi RS3. And this month, we're partnering with Rios Garage for an exciting giveaway. So check out our sweepstakes at go.rallyapp.com/winrs3 for more information. Also, starting this month and through the rest of the campaign through the end of the year, We're going to be extending the double entry promotion, but exclusive to Audi Club members. So even if you're not a member, you can sign up through the sweepstakes, become a member, and get double entries and double your chances to win a brand new 2025 Audi RS3. And stay tuned, because we have more exciting giveaways coming between now and the end of the year for Audi Club's Win RS3 sweepstakes with a number of our sponsors and partners. In closing, I want to offer a very special thank you to Audi of America and Audi AG for inviting Audi Club to participate in this very special occasion. We're grateful for the opportunity. We were really just blown away by this vehicle, and so it's an experience that we'll never forget. So again, thank you for that. We're certainly looking forward to future opportunities to collaborate in this space and bring this type of content to our members or subscribers, our audience. So thanks again to Audi. And with that brings an end to this episode. Thank you all. Keep an eye out. The Audi RS6 Avant GT will be coming to the streets soon. We're looking forward to additional announcements from Audi about the pricing and availability. If you're interested in the market to purchase one of these cars, you better reach out to your dealer if you have them ready, because there's only 85 coming to North America. They're sure to be spoken for pretty soon. Now, this brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you for watching. We're excited to bring you more content around this experience and around the RS6 Avant GT through our different social media channels and our magazine. So stay tuned for more updates there. And be sure to give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more exciting video content like this.